Good evening, everyone. This is Ning Hoi Kim Kong Sai, and you are watching this English News Edition with me. So tonight we have a hot topic, and to begin with, let's get into the headlines first. First firing broke out between the Kuki village volunteers and the Métis radical groups. Details awaited. Then Kuki MLAs highlight chaotic state of Manipur, propose alternative solution to PM Modi. Mizo student body demands terminations of PhD program. Student over alleged fundraising for bullet targeting Manipur. News in detail. A heavy exchange of fire took place today at El Tangnum of Gangchup area, including Singda Dam, when combined force of UNLF and Arambai Tingle allegedly attacked Kukizo village at around 2:20 p.m., resulting in the death of one Métis militant and several others injured, said a reliable source. As reported from some phones from the village volunteers in the Gangchup area stage, that the combined Métis force led by Arambai Tingle took over the village volunteers post, but after some time of heavy firing, the Kukizo village volunteers got momentum and were able to win over their post again. No casualty has been reported from the Kuki village volunteers. The volunteers says two self-loading SLR, one AK-22 and one light machine gun. Reinforcement came from both sides and the firing got really intense in the meantime. The identity of the deceased and the injured were not made public so far. The firing was still ongoing during the obtainment of this report. As per report received from intelligence source, the injured Métis radical groups were taken to hospital by 3 ambulances. It was also reported that 4 injured persons were taken to Rims Hospital and to Ras Medicity. Around 3 to 4 deaths were estimated from the UNLF and Arambai Tingle Métis radical groups, who were the perpetrator of today's firing. The perpetrators have been preparing for the attack few days ahead, based on the things they left behind after fleeing. The abandoned goods include sleeping bags, blankets, instant food items, cooked rice and meat, and their luggage. The village volunteers burned down all the abandoned goods. Let's listen to an audio clip from the ground.
Ni tum lang hung sin chang ge gam sung wa ma kem ko jo ge asa gon pa no wa he kyo nyong to nya so ka del lu no wa ka ka mo he ni ka to na mon hi na tigang amas embos e bola wa kyo ka na it's mon mama so hi it's chung lang agam ni an ni be ye mo he ating masanga to ting ana bu na ting ho e ko bi de ga ma ting ala wa abu ting bu na gam it's shell lang ti a chu igam ku ki te na ga ma he ungkal be ki na wa den ding to bang agu je wa he nam ka chengin dai lo ja he dunya chu la ki dal lu ni ati ra hi li lenga hi au min chu teng le ni khat ni alo tanen ata sa bang so tu cha avui den wen amona chu avui den wen along da mo le gi hi di dan patin ranen patin yung piwin samlang ko jo pulsa pul patin pung som le khat ti vela hi kan ka ke pa do hin pung som le khat vela ke pa hin kong ke ka pa ne pung khat ma khai pung ni ti o vel hin ten tu khujin ma sang je ge ya jo ke ka me pha ni hung so du tho kang chu le mo hung area ke bom ti dam kang chu area ti dan ta sing da dam to kharam thadoi na khojang hi cheng thum ki ka e ni kho chu a hin khelawa e ni kho ke hal na khojang hi a hin khelawa hi chi khelang te a chu singda dam kom lang ge ya hi ho hi chu a hin bang athip tai ama wang hin an ka ji na la evene wa wan bang ki don bu tapu silum dan che ne
In a collective effort to address the ongoing chaos in Manipur, 10 Kuki members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs, have come forward, shedding light on the tumultuous situation at stake. The MLAs have presented an alternative solution to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, urging immediate attention and intervention. In a later address to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Kuki MLAs alleged that the ongoing conflict situations in Manipur has turned from bad to worse, as is evident from the bizarre incident at Imphal Kangla Fort on the 24th January 2024, wherein the Meitei MLAs and ministers of 12 Manipur Legislative Assembly, numbering 37, and the 2 Meitei MPs were compelled to take oath of alliance for the so-called Meitei militia run by Tengal, in contraventions to the oath taken under the Constitutions of India as elected representatives, highlight the persisting disorder and violence, particularly targeting the Kuki community. On that day, 3 Meitei MLAs were publicly humiliated and physically assaulted inside Kangla Fort by the Arambai Tengal amidst heavy security deployment inside, outside, and at all gates of the complex. However, the Chief Minister has maintained eloquent silence on the public harassment of his lawmaker colleagues. One can only imagine the fate of minority tribals, Muslims, Nepalis, Marwaris, Biharis, and others under such harrowing circumstances where a parallel government is run by the Arambai Tengals. The MLAs maintain that since May 3rd, 2023, these Arambai Tengal were waging war against the Kuki Jog people. The division within the inhabitants of Manipur has been significantly more aggravated on communal lines by the recent act of the Arambai Tengal. These militias were openly roaming in the streets with arms looted from the government armories. The Central Security Forces has become mute spectators in the absence of AFSPA. Lawlessness has now become new law in the capital city of Imphal. The MLA said, adding that this Taliban act like an act of Arambai Tengal shows the total breakdown of the Indian constitutional machineries in Manipur Valley. The state government is forced to comply with the bidding of Arambai Tengals. Such instance of militia taking over the streets despite the presence of democratically elected popular government is unprecedented in independent India. Hence, the need for an alternative political solution is urgently imperative at this critical juncture, it urged. In their proposal to PM Modi, the Kuki representatives emphasized the need for a comprehensive strategy that ensures the safety, rights, and well-being of all communities in Manipur. The alternative solution aims to foster unity, harmony, and equitable development, countering the current atmosphere of turmoil and division. It is pertinent to mention that representations highlighting the present volatile situations has been sent to the Home Minister, Government of India, on 21st January 2024, requesting his immediate attention and interventions on the following issues: one-sided bias resolutions adopted by legislators of 12 Manipur Legislative Assembly on 21st January 2024, on abrogations of suspension of operations (SOO), immediate withdrawal of Meitei State Police commanders from array, and reimpositions of ASPA in Manipur Valley. However, the matter remains unattended till date. Therefore, we, the 10 Kuki elected MLAs, reiterated our demand for separate administrations from Manipur under specific provisions of the Constitutions of India, the MLAs added. Mizoram student body Mizo Zirulai Pol MJP has called for the immediate terminations of Teresa Nungthuzam's PhD program at Mizoram University. The request comes following serious allegations of her involvement in fundraising for bullets aimed at harming community in Manipur. A formal letter dated January 29, 2024 addressed to the Registrar of Mizoram University highlighting the pressing concerns surrounding Teresa Nungthuzam's actions. The latter signed by C. Lalmungsanga, Assistant General Secretary of Mizo Zirlaipo, expressed deep distress over the alleged collections of Rs 20,000 from the procurement of bullets. The letter reads, I am writing to bring to your kind attention a matter of utmost concern regarding Teresa Ningtuza, a student enrolled in the PhD program at Mizoram University, the later stage. The document accused Teresa of engaging in activities that are not only morally reprehensible, but also contradict the principles of humanity and academic integrity. The later stage the severity of the allegations and urged the university to take swift and decisive actions to terminate Teresa's enrollment in the PhD program. As Teresa's supervisor acknowledges the gravity of the situations, it is stressed that such actions could only implications for both her academic pursuits and the reputations of Mizoram University. Sila Ngsanga, in his role as the Assistant General Secretary of MJP, underlined the importance of upholding the values of peace, respect for human life, and academic excellence that Mizoram University stands for, the latter stage. By taking decisive actions in this matter, we reaffirmed our commitment to fostering a safe, inclusive, and ethical learning environment for all students. The Zou Reunification Organization, JORO, set up last a poster featuring Union Home Minister Amit Shah during its 125th Chinrusay conference held at the MJP Conference Hall. The act was a gesture denouncing the central government's decision to abolish the Free Movement Regime, FMR, and erect border fencing along the Indo-Myanmar border. Zoro, a Mizoram-based group representing the Zou indigenous people of India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar, voiced their discontent during the conference, claiming that the Union Home Minister is directly accountable for the controversial decision. As per India Today Northeast, the Free Movement Regime, which allows certain border residents to move freely within a specific distance across the Indo-Myanmar border, has been a long-standing tradition. The recent move to dismantle this regime and install fencing has sparked outrage among various groups, including JORO, J-O-R-O. During the conference, leaders of JORO condemned the decisions, urging that it would adversely affect the cultural and familial ties that have existed across the borders for generations. They accused the central government of neglecting the sentiments and concerns of the Zou people. Today, the 30th January 2024, the Go2 organizations held their first annual resolutions meeting with prayer service at Hard Rock SP Ngaimut Village Sadai Hills, and members from different departments under the Go2 organizations also took part in the meeting and deliberated on various developmental projects to be taken up throughout the year. The Go2 representatives and leaders spoke on various issues, took stands during this issuing ethnic cleansing initiated by the Métis in Imphal. The Go2 joint artists also presented a melodious voice. Hagen Kipgan delivered an encouraging speech. Reverend Haukip, as master of ceremony, and gave a powerful speech and ended with a mass prayer. Rising People Party Nagaland has called upon Nagas and the Kuki-Zou to come together for a common cause and to stand up against powers bent on erasure of Kuki-Zou and Naga history. The Rising People's Party appeals to all the Nagas and the Zou Kuki-Tsim family and all the churches to fervently pray unceasingly for the two peoples, Kuki-Zou and Nagas, to rise up as one in tackling an issue having ramifications for their existence as people with shared history and identity. Reacting to the central government plans to scrap the FMR along Indo-Myanmar border, RPP issued a prayer appeal to the Kuki-Zou and Naga people. RPP stated that the government of India's fatal decisions on free movement regime will be a call to insurrections in the northeast, already reeling from the ethnic conflict in Manipur, eventually leading to balkanization or breakup of India. The RPP added that the central government's decision to scrap the Free Movement Regime (FMR) and erect security facing along the 1,600-kilometer-long international corridor in the northeast has shocked the tribal peoples of Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, and Manipur. This decision has deeply hurt the sentiments of the tribals and the reason for it means the erasers of our history and a shared past. RPP claimed that the British first divided in the territory of the Nagas and Mizo chiefs in the early part of the 20th century into a British Assam and British Burma for administrative reasons, but when the province of Burma was detached from British India in 1937, the ethnic identities of Nagas and Mizo Tim peoples of Burma were lost forever to the dominant of Burmans. The majority ethnic group of Burma, the party started. Further, RPP stated that the insensitivity of the British has never been forgotten, and yet today the BJP government of India is rubbing salt into all wound. If the government of India indeed bulldozes ahead with its irrational decision, the fragile peace in the region will be shattered. Instead of working towards a lasting solutions in the northeast, the GOI seems to be pursuing a confrontational policy, says RPP. Our shared history with our kings in Burma cannot be erased with security fencing, and it's important that India's leaders listen to us with compassion, RPP stated. A Kerala court on Tuesday sentenced to death 15 persons associated with the now banned Islamist outfit Popular Front of India, PFI, in connections with the murder of Bharatiya Janata Party OBC wing leader Ranjit Srinivasan in Alappuzha district in December 2021. The sentence was pronounced by Mavilikara Additional District Judge VZ Sridevi, news agency PTI reported. The prosecution has sought the maximum sentence for the convicts, saying that they were a trained killer squad and the cruel and diabolical manner in which the victim was killed in front of his mother, infant, and wife brings it within the armpit of the rarest of crimes. Ranjit Srinivasan, the BJP OBC Morcha State Secretary, was brutally attacked and killed in his home on December 19, 2021 in front of his family, allegedly by activities affiliated with PFI and Social Democratic Party of India (SDPI). The court on January 20 had found that out of the 15 people and accused in the case, 1 to 8 were directly involved in the case. It had also found 4 people, accused number 9 to 12, guilty of murder because they, along with their directly involved in the crime, came to the spot armed with deadly weapons. Their objective was to prevent Srinivasan from escaping and to stop anyone entering the house after hearing his screams. The court had accepted the prosecution's argument that they were also liable for the common offense of murder under IPC sections 149, every member of unlawful assembly guilty of offense committed in prosecutions of common object. The court also convicted for murder 3 others, accused number 13 to 15, who had hatched a conspiracy to kill Srinivasan, the SSP had said. The BJP leader's murder occurred just hours after SDPI leader K.S. Sant was killed by a gang on the night of December 18, 2021, while he was returning home in Alappuzha. Manipur University Students' Union has warned of adjacent consequences possibly far more severe than expectations. If the Mizoram University Authority successfully happens to terminate the PhD program of Teresa Ningthozam from Mizoram University, MUSU issued a press release in response to the Mizo Zirlaipol demand for terminations of PhD program of Teresa Ningthozam from Mizoram University, accusing her being involved in the collections of funds for procurement of bullets, purportedly intended for harming Kuki people in Manipur. MUSU stated that following the demand of MJP if the Mizoram University Authority successfully happens to terminate the PhD program of Terisan Intozam from Manipur University. Manipur University Students' Union vitally rings the harness bell for the existential consequences, which could possibly far more severe than expectations. MUSU draws the attention of all stakeholders, especially those who are in academic pursuits, including Mizo Zirlaipo and the authority of Mizoram University, to refrain from irrational acts targeting academic institutions. Such an act of intolerable as places like academic institutions should not be touched, stated the release. MUSU claimed that there are numerous reports and evidences of students from Kuki community enrolled under different programs in Manipur University being involved directly in spreading false rumors of Meitei people raping Kuki women inside the university campus, students belonging to the said community being indulged in gunfights, possessing sophisticated weapons, and collecting funds from the students of the university to assist in the armed militancy, up to publishing writing based on false propaganda and made-up history. However, Manipur University Students' Union has not been taking up any hard steps attempting the academic and personal care of those individuals who are worth more than plundering their careers days back. The very stilled and calmness which has been maintained by MUSU till that is purposely imperative to uphold the values of peace, respect for human life, and academic excellence of Manipur University stands for, stated release. That's all from us tonight, and we thank you for joining our program.